has a grouse against the president, a legitimate grouse, because he worked for the president. Hate him or love him, he has something, he has a basis to be angry. And he has been working assiduously to undermine the president, particularly in the Muslim North, where he's like the Khalifa to Buhari. He's like the brain box of the Muslim North. But let me give him a tip. If you really want to see the back of the president, let me tell you for what he will do. And I think they may be on the path to really achieving that. Let El-Rufai convince the Muslim North. If he's able to do that, I know he can, he has the capacity, to look towards the South for a candidate to support, specifically the Southeast. If I let me put it straight, the day El-Rufai decides and is able to galvanize the opinion holders in the North to zero down on a P2B, for instance, as the candidate, that will be the end of the Tinubu administration.
Okay, so that video has got a lot of persons talking, and it is of course getting rave review all over the country, and a lot of persons are happy about it. Some others are critical of it. But while I watched that video repeatedly, something just went off in me, and it worries me. As much as it is good omen, it looks good for somebody who wants Nigeria to get better. In pursuant of that effect, things like this would always spring or awaken something inside of you. Then again, like I've always said on this platform, you may not believe me, I'm not one of those anarchists who pretend to be activists that enjoys the privileges of surviving in a very chaos environment. Some activists and some creators in Nigeria, if the country gets better, they will not be happy. Just like how some Nigerians who are abroad are praying for the country to continue to sing because they want to sell a narrative that they relocated before and they saw it ahead. That's not who I am. And I don't need to, people that are close to me know how well I love Nigeria. And sometimes I even forget that I'm outside of this space. I am somebody that wants to see Nigeria work. On this content space, this is just going to be for a short while. It's not going to be a long thing for me. In short, as at 2024, the beginning of 2024, when I made my New Year resolution, I removed fighting for the cause of Nigeria as part of my goal. I just wanted to focus on that things. And people that follow me know that I have 1,000,001 things to talk about. People that have known me from the way back. So it's really not something that I enjoy looking into. But we have to continue to put our voice out for things to get better. So I am not in that league of people that wants to see the country sink so that they can continue to make money or speak about it so that they can get some hype. That's not me. You may not believe, but that's a fact. However, so I sat back and say, are we going to continue to have a country where we move from one elections to another? In financial literacy, you are told that living from paycheck to paycheck is a very dangerous omen. It's wrong. After receiving salary at the end of the month, you are waiting again because you've exhausted everything. Sometimes you even have to continue to take loans to survive till another paycheck. It's a very terrible situation to be in. Financially, you are being grounded, and that's a dangerous thing. I also ask, should a democracy, is it proper for a democracy to be from one election to another? It's just barely 2 years ago, barely 24 months after the last elections, all our concentration and conversations, all of them are focused again on having another election, grabbing power and all of these things. It bothers me. It bothers me, worries me. Is this how democracy survives? I've been following the news in the US, and I'm seeing that Donald Trump won election. People are on the street. People are holding him accountable. Is it that Nigerian version of democracy doesn't have a point where the people, where the followers, where the citizens have the way of holding government accountable? Should we continue to wait for another election after a single election? At day 2 of this government, we knew we've made a mistake. We knew that this was wrong. Okay, majority of us did not vote. A few persons did. The magic happened. But at day 2, after the first day, after whatever the inauguration, we knew that there was a problem. And then the next thing is to begin to wait for another election. No, something must be done. Something must be done. Chinua Achebe, who is regarded as the father of modern African literature, who is also a critic and a novelist, said that a functioning, robust democracy requires a healthy, educated, and participatory followership, and of course, an educated, morally grounded leadership. My bottom line is the participatory followership. For this democracy to survive, there must be something we can do to hold government accountable. We cannot depend on elections after elections to solve our problems. What are the things? Why is our democracy not being able to review itself? Why is our democracy? It's just like having an engine work. When an engine is bad, the next most important thing is not to go throw it off or buy a new one. It's worrisome. Some of you give your clothes to tailor. Some of you give your shoe, you fix your hole. I've living abroad, I've not learned how to do it yourself. I do everything myself. I've had to fix a few things myself. The other day I was telling you how I had to save up over £100 to just get to fix my TV stand in my new apartment. That is so. It means that as humans, we've been programmed to help solve immediate problems and then try all we could before we move on to the next. Why is all our conversations about how to make Nigeria forward now based? Are we giving up? Is it that we have concluded that this is not going to work and we want the government? Now, there is nothing happening in Nigeria practically. Governance has literally stopped. And until we begin to educate ourselves on the need, what is it that we can do? It's worrying. Even if we get the right person with this kind of ideology, the person will not even. We must build. Jesus. I thought by now Nigerians will start to say we want reform, because all of these guys have said now, as much as it makes sense, will be rubbish if at the end of the day we move into that election without having proper electoral reforms or block all the electoral loopholes that INEC use in rigging and manipulating our elections. If we don't, and I've said it, some of you are yet to, some of you see, I see very enlightened, smart people made this mistake. The most that would have happened, is it not the same beavers that had glitch on and whereas Senate and House of Rep elections were passing through. And you said an Atiku and Peter Obi ticket 2023 would have defeated Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Did you have access to what INEC was going to do? Do you see what Wike did? Or go and mark it down. All of the governors coming to APC now, they will get lectures from Wike on what he did with Rivers vote in 2023. That is the same thing they are going to do in 2027. So it means therefore that we need to begin to review the process before the elections. How are we considering that? Who are we recalling? Our senators and House of Rep members and lawmakers that are supposed to represent us, that we voted into the National Assembly to go and put in laws to help strengthen our democracy, deepen our institutions, ensure that our systems are okay, our values are projected. We have left them, and the next thing is talking about presidential election that is 2 years away. Are we giving up? Are there no things? Is this how democracy exists in other countries? Are there no things that we can do to effect some form of change, so leadership will not be accountable to a participatory followership? It worries me. As much as I want to see Tinubu get out of office, but I say barely 2 years. It's not even May. A couple of weeks to his second anniversary as president, and everything leadership. I tell you, governance has literally stopped. While we are talking about all of the issues with, I saw a picture of Godswill Akpabio, the Senate president, going to Rome, Vatican, on behalf of Nigeria and the Nigerian government to pay condolence and follow the transitional process of the late Pope. Akpabio did not visit Benue. Akpabio did not visit Plateau. There is no senior government official from president, vice president, to Senate president, to House of Rep speaker that has taken it upon himself to go and do on-the-spot assessment of what is happening in these two states. I don't know. I heard the vice president visited one state. I can't recall at this moment. Yet he's in the Vatican. He's in the Vatican. And Nigerians do not have any instrument, any tool to recall people so that we can fit before we move on to the next election. So we have literally stopped governance. Presidency is giving 15 billion to varsity unions, whereas people that are going to these schools cannot travel from their state to the schools. What are we developing? We don't have a society that is secured. Come on.